pink torpedo. Sorry.
We're losing Maria already. She's in a world of her own.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
All right. This is Gym Crashers Live. Thank you for tuning in. We do go live at 8 p.m. every Wednesday. Feel free to like us, subscribe to us. That way we can get some information out to you each week.
Check out the Instagram, gym.crashers.
Gym.crashers, as the producer Miguel has spoken from a place of nowhere land there behind the camera.
Yep.
We love that. But this is a MMA, jiu-jitsu, boxing, wrestling, sambo, you name it, lifestyle kind of show. We don't just talk about people's fights, but who they are, what they are, and everything else that kind of makes them tick and do their thing. So we like to kind of delve in and find things out that normal people don't actually hear about them. Today we have a very special guest with us. We have Erick Ghost Pepper Gonzales.
How you doing, everybody?
Welcome. And, of course, Maria Rios, my co-host. Thank you. Looking good with the new red hair.
Always.
I guess it's not that new anymore, but it's new to me.
It's kind of fading.
Yeah. It's pink? Is it fuchsia now? It was bright red at one time.
It'll the more it fades, it'll change. So
I dig it.
dye it back and freak everyone out.
You'll make a good flare if we break down in the boat once again. Does it happens. What can he say?
Get up there.
That's right. Put her on the pole. Oh, I better watch that.
Yeah,
Hey, it's that kind of boat.
As long as I'm getting thrown at me, no problem.
So we were talking
No
to Erick, who
borders.
was an actual competitor in Combates in the past. There's Combates coming up tomorrow in Monterrey, Mexico. How cool to be to fight in Mexico.
That'd be pretty cool.
For real, right?
I've only gone to Tijuana, but
That's still Mexico, bro.
To fight or just
to fight. Yeah,
oh,
that was
You
last
fought in TJ?
year. Yeah, last year.
Right on.
for combates or?
Combate. That was against Danny.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right. I remember.
Match. No, that was against La Roca.
La
Roca. So
It's a pretty
he's
dope name.
What was the name of the venue that was held in?
That one was
The stadium?
the stadium. It was a wrestling stadium. I don't remember the name exactly.
Okay.
It was my first time ever being there, but it was pretty. It was like a boxing ring outside and in the locker rooms or bathrooms.
Oh.
So you had to pay for toilet paper.
Of course. Ain't nothing for free.
People got to hustle out there. So
Yeah.
I feel that. But
So like
no, I mean, other than
get
that,
us
I mean, it was
tickets.
cool. The crowd was vivid, super loud,
Yeah.
They're awesome.
They're pumped. I think
You know?
they're catching on. I mean, it's a very, very culturally boxing-focused society.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Everybody wants to see you chuck fists. So learning about MMA and jiu-jitsu is something different and new for them, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Because they are adapting. Actually, when I went down to the Yucatan, I noticed there was an MMA gym down there. I stopped in, and it wasn't quite developed yet. Like they
Yeah.
were incorporating wrestling. I saw some boxing and stuff, but it wasn't quite where we're at, in
No,
the U.S.
absolutely. I mean, the guy that I fought over there he was a brown belt, but he didn't feel like it at all. So
Yeah.
you know,
I can't imagine
how their belt system
yeah,
works.
they're
a
or
lot
just
different.
like you don't really hear a lot of like jiu-jitsu competitors coming from Mexico.
Yeah, I wonder.
Like
That'd be a good place
you know
to,
what I mean?
post up and start
Yeah,
teaching, though.
I mean, you hear it all like Europe and all that way, but never really from Mexico or.
Not at all. It's so brand new down there. I mean, there's barely gyms out there to find a place. Most of the gyms are huge, you know. They're more
Yeah.
of a boxing, like you said.
Boxing and soccer, right?
Boxing is like
They're realizing MMA is the
their
future.
core, yeah.
So you know, boxing kind of faded in a way, and MMA has made its way in already. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool that
You
you
know.
gotta at least go once, and I'm sure they'll have you there again.
Oh, that's yeah.
Absolutely.
So-
I think
That's
they're
legit.
Trying to do Mexico card this year, and then they're gonna go Sacramento in June, I believe.
Nice.
So
So
Hope they
you
hop on
just
that.
recently fought like how long ago?
last Friday.
Last
Woo!
the
Yeah.
victorious outcome. Will you tell us about the fight?
Yeah, tell us what happened, man. Where we at?
There's a little background on it against Danny Ramirez, the realist. Me and him had a little background last year in Burbank when we fought, and I lost to a decision to the judges. It was unanimous, surprisingly. I thought it was going to be at least a split decision.
Sure.
So I was a little pissed about that. So, you know, after that, I fought the month right after in TJ, and then we fought, and then I just fought him again this past Friday and knocked him out, TKO. In the first round, 3 minutes, 15
Whoa.
seconds into it.
That's the way you want to come back, right?
How did you do it? Like what was the
well,
advice or what?
I mean, the plan was just keep the distance. You know, coach was really trying to make me do. The game plan was to keep in the distance and just keep circling, creating angles. And actually, I switched up my style this fight, so I came in southpaw instead of regular.
Oh, wow.
And so I think it threw him off a little bit because when we first engaged, he kind of froze up on me a
Yeah.
little bit, it seemed like, and then he tried to rush me in like he normally did, which was expected. So I ended up getting my my over underhooks, and then I threw him to the side, pushed him against the cage, and then he threw me back and rolled, and then we kind of like switched over, and then I ended up against the cage. We got out, scrambled. I ended up actually taking his back and almost choked him out. So I had the rear naked choke. He was super strong. Ended up prying my arm off super fast because it was the first round, so he was fresh. And then as we got out, I tried to hit him with 2 hooks, kind of blocked them both, and then continued to press forward with the teep. Missed the first one, got the second teep, and as I came in with the right teep forward, I came down and I ducked under his hook. Then I came back with a spinning elbow towards the head, just got him in the temple, and then I hit him with the jab, came with the cross, I missed that one, then went in with the left hook, and then the right uppercut. That's when he fell over on his butt, and then I got on top, and then punched him like 3 times, and then got the full mount, trapped the arm, and then on the set, and I trapped the arm, and then got on top and elbowed him like 2 more times.
Wow.
They stepped in
But
and called
yeah,
it.
Mike Beltram had
That's like so. You're like. I almost feel like I was there. Like so detailed and like how everything
I
happened.
didn't even feel like I hit him hard. That was a trip. So
We
it was
got
the
some
first time I
pictures
hit
of that
someone
up behind us, too. Check that out. There you are right there, dude.
You go.
So
So-
kind of in a standing mounted position there,
Yeah,
right?
I was there, and then that's when I hit him twice, and then when he tried to roll on his side is when I just got on top right away because he was kind of dazed, so he didn't really know where he was at. It seemed like I think he was still trying to recover from getting punched and then getting punched continuously
Sure.
afterwards. So I was able to get the mount, and then his arm was trapped under it. And it's funny because I posted a picture when I had my first professional fight with the similar position of a KO.
Yeah.
The same style of the KO. Arm was trapped. The right arm was trapped under me, and I was at a full mount. And I posted a picture I think a few days before that, and I'm like, this is gonna be you on Friday. So
You manifested
like
it.
Babe calling it.
You manifest that.
But-
There's a strange thing though when you train, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, but we find ourselves in very similar scenarios, regardless of the person that we are competing against, rolling with, or sparring with. You find yourself in that same position, so
Yeah.
it probably isn't a surprise that you ended up right there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The knee tap actually that got in right before I got control of his back, because he tried to hit me with a hook, which is a move that I'll be showing later on tonight. He came with a hook and I ducked under it and I came slip and then came back with a body and then I bear hugged him, knee tapped him, and landed on a side control position. But the knee tap was we were working on. I'd been working on that uppercut the entire camp. That was
Mhm.
like a ritual. I'd run to the beach, do the same shadow boxing, same combination. So everything was just kind of like I was really prepped. I worked my butt off this entire year. So, it was it was a great outcome. Just to come in there and shut him up. Cause
Yeah.
You talk a lot of trash.
Yeah, there was a lot of social media trash
Yeah.
talking, and it was mine too. Mostly like me defending myself because I took a Dell last year. But
Yeah.
I got a lot of highlight reel off last year's.
It wasn't like a pushover.
Yeah, it wasn't a pushover.
Nah.
It was highlights of him taking me down, then highlights of me punching him in the face.
Yeah, you went out on your feet. You finished that fight. Come on.
But it was nice. I hear people like, "Oh, you guys can do the trilogy," and I'm like, "If you want to, I don't really care."
Yeah, he may not want to after that knockout.
It'll just be an easy payday for me after that.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I had a lot of fun. It was great. It was a good set of fights. Surprised some of the outcomes that happened that night. There is a couple 55ers that I saw on that card that I want to fight,
Nice.
just because they look like a good challenge and someone that's going to push me a little bit. One guy had some great cardio, so he's probably someone I definitely want to fight. And he's a little more build and broad, probably heavier than me for sure. But most of the time, the guys they get hit once or twice and they don't want any more hands. They try to just grapple. So
Sure.
At this point, it's just getting my grappling at its best game.
I like it. How did your training differ preparing for this fight versus preparing the first time, since you already know how he fights? I realize you changed stances on him. That was also part of the plan. Was there anything else that you implemented knowing that you're going to go about something different?
Honestly, just more wrestling, like some wrestling classes every Thursday night.
Yeah.
Took that for about 2-3 months, literally before the fight, and then it made the biggest world. We worked in that knee tap multiple times.
Sure.
It was, second nature when you stepped in
So
there.
exactly. As soon as I grabbed him, it was like my body did it. I didn't even think about it. So.
Yeah. If he was studying your movement from before, you're an entirely different person by the time you step in this time.
Exactly. You know, and that's what I always tell my coach. I was like, no, I don't want to be the same fighter. So when I work on different moves, different stuff, and it only adds on to my arsenal.
Yeah.
But I mean, I added wrestling. Everything else was the same though, as far as camp wise. I was doing the same amount of striking. I run a lot, an obsessive amount. So people always think I'm crazy for that. So the cardio was always it's going to be there regardless. Last time we did a fight, I was sick for a week before the fight, so I lost about 4 pounds. I was on bed rest the entire week. So this fight, I was 100% there. I felt like I was about 60 to 70% there for that fight, but I was still constantly pushing. And even though I gassed, one of the first times I ever gassed in a fight, you know, I still felt like I went in there and I gave everything I had. So this fight everything was, you know, that everything I had. You know, I told him I would just outclass him every style of fighting there in MMA, and that's exactly what I did.
Pretty cool, man. I like it.
Fighting for Combate.
They're awesome, dude. They take great care of their fighters. The pay's good. You know, a lot of fighters think that the pay's isn't worth it for some fighters. I always hear people saying they don't, you know, that's a big problem. They don't get paid enough, but it's like, I mean, you just got to know where you're going and talk to the right people. But Combate takes great care of their fighters.
They seem like they put on a really solid promotion.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's pretty organized. There's some moments, you know, we all know our promotions always can be a little bit unorganized at, you know, at those last moments, but they pull it together somehow. We all know that, but Combates is pretty organized. This last event wasn't. It was a little bit because of TV time and all this stuff. Yeah. So I went from going from like the 4th fight to the last fight of the night.
Oh, shit.
So I didn't fight till like 11.
Ooh, that's horrible.
And there was like intermissions like crazy. So, but it was really, really dope. They had like all these like intermission shows.
It's growing is why. You know what I mean? Hats off to them because their promotion is growing at such a level and more people are seeing it. So the timing's a tough thing.
Yeah. They just beat Bellator on the 2nd top ratings.
Oh, wow. Damn.
In the U.S.
Wow.
Last night.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
That's a big one, you know.
Yeah.
And they're right under UFC now, so you know I could see them taking over, especially with the Latin community being a lot bigger. You know, and UFC is kind of like they're always going to have great fighters and great shows, but I feel like the Latin-based community is way bigger than most communities, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think the reason that some of these up-and-comers are successful is people are hungry for fights. Yeah. And sometimes the big cards that you got to pay $60 to see, or you go to the local bar or whatever it is.
$30.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, that's a deal.
Right?
Yeah, that's a freaking super
people were like, oh, is there anything cheaper? I'm like, dude, this is the cheapest it's going to get. I'm sorry.
Cheap asses, dude.
Yeah.
Really cheap.
$30 a deal. Yeah.
$30.
To see it live, right?
The shrine, so you're on the 2nd floor looking down, which was almost, I was standing up top watching every fight. So I was the same view that $30 people got. And
I mean, I've seen shows there before, so I can only imagine fights being
pretty
cool.
If you're from LA, that's the spot.
Yeah.
40 to $60 usually, you know.
Amateur shows, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know,
so that's a steal.
It is.
It was a sold out show though. There was no tickets left. They ran out. Everything was full. They overbooked it from what I heard. So it was.
I guess, right?
It's interesting, but it's growing for that very reason. They're overselling tickets. We went to a Spar Stars event 3 weeks ago, and it was oversold. It was standing room only, and then the question was, where do we put all these people?
Was at Burbank, right?
Commerce.
Oh, yeah, I was there with you guys.
Yeah, that's right. And that was oversold. Yeah. So these are the same dudes. You know, they're all working it. Tony Padilla's working that event with Combate, so.
Yeah, he takes care of me too. He's awesome.
Tony, a shout out to Tony T-Bone Steaks. Want you to know we're thinking of you, buddy. And we appreciate you very much for all that you do for us and for the fight community here in LA. Absolutely. He's an LA boy. He rocks that flag, and he's proud of everybody that comes out of here. Yeah, I know he was there. He probably had a hand in at least half the fights, if not more.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You know?
That guy puts on shows, man. He knows who to pair up and everything, which I love it.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Very cool.
So how did you get your name?
Actually, my family used to own a restaurant, and it was called Habaneros Pepper.
Yeah, I remember.
So, you know, I actually had Twin Systems, remember?
Yeah, we had our party there.
Yeah, they had a huge party. It was like 50 people there. It was a lot. But I used to cook, and I used to eat all these spices, and my mom was the one that really got me to spicy food, and I'm Mexican, so it's kind of, you know, it was there and there.
It's a given.
Yeah, it's a given, you know. So my grandma made some killer sauces and everything.
Right on.
I used to eat, one day I had a ghost pepper, and when my uncle was there, he's like, you won't eat that, and it was like roasted. And I'm like, bet. And he was just like, all right, here's $20. Eat it. Grab that shit, put it all in my mouth. Ate the whole thing in the heart, man. I died, dude.
We're going to do that on camera next time he comes in. We're going to have the challenge between everyone here in the room, including the non-producing people on the side here watching.
Hey, it's on my shirt for a reason.
We're going to have a chili eating contest.
So you earned the name Ghost Pepper.
I kind of just tied in because I didn't like I would want to have like a typical fighter name. You know, you have all these typical like.
And they're all corny. A lot of them are pretty corny.
The Nightmare.
The Mexicutioner. The Sexecutioner.
Sexy Mexi.
The Sexecutioner. Oh, I like the Sexy Mexi though. It's kind of, it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it does,
right?
You know? But it's just like, I don't know.
Brown and proud. Here he comes.
Oh, I see some wild names sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But, no, I actually liked it because it was completely different than MMA. But you think of a ghost pepper and it's something like you don't want to fuck with.
No way.
You know?
Twice. Yeah.
Think twice
I like it.
So, you know, I kind of like,
Birds on the way in and
was talking to this business guy, and he kind of rolled it. He kind of like threw the idea out there. He's like,
Ghost Pepper Gonzales, yeah.
He's like, plus you can market the hell out of that name if you really need to.
Ghost Pepper Gonzales sounds like a.
I mean, I think it sounds dope.
It's the real deal.
There's a lot of stuff I can implement to that. Like once I get a title fight, I can start putting out that Ghost Pepper challenge.
Yeah.
You know, stuff.
You're gonna put up hot sauce in your parents' restaurant. Ghost Pepper Gonzales.
Start selling
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
You know, we actually ended up selling the place. It was Mexican, vegan, and we had Mexican food. So
whoa! I know a guy that would eat there every day.
We had
Mexican and vegan.
We had vegan fajitas.
Oh,
all
dude.
types of stuff, dude.
Weird.
We were the #1 spot for like 3 years.
Where was this place at?
Right here at South Bay. Right
okay.
So like right off like Hawthorne and PCH.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But we had the #1 running spot for like 3 years.
Killer.
The vegan list. So you know, I was one of the cooks. So I had to learn how to cook vegan and cook, and then obviously the regular food.
Yeah.
And it was just constant. It was busy.
I love that.
It was awesome.
Nice.
But yeah, I got it just from eating a ghost pepper.
We went up and trained at Fight Science, and then we rolled over to Trejo's Tacos, and they had jackfruit tacos.
Which jackfruit, by the way, is the shit.
It's like al pastor.
I never
It
had
is
that.
so good.
Dude, it's like al pastor. I couldn't believe it.
If you do you like Indian food?
Yeah.
They usually have it.
It was real.
Okay.
It was fire.
So
That was good.
I had a cauliflower taco, a jackfruit taco, and something else. I don't know. It was really good though.
Jackfruit.
Incredible. Mushrooms,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, we're foodies here.
Yeah.
Glad you brought that up.
I have to limit myself after fights though, because this last fight I cut like 30 pounds.
Whoa, my
I
God.
started in January.
Still, 30 pounds is 30 pounds, bro.
But now,
Pounds?
so now I'm like weighing like 168. And last
You look a
time.
little lean.
Yeah, so I was just like, all right, I'm gonna leave it like this, you know.
You gotta keep it low, man.
Are you fighting at 150? Where you at? 55s? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not bulking up anymore.
So you're about 13 pounds off? That's nothing, yeah.
Yeah. So now I'm staying close because I want to be able to pick up some last minute fights, and
yeah.
I'm not working as much in my other job that I have. That's completely different than MMA. So I want to be able to stay ready and just in case they give me that call, like, hey, can you fight in a month? I'll be like, fuck yeah, sign me up. You know,
Yeah.
Fight camp.
You knock people out, you get those offers, right? That's what you got to
Yeah,
do. You're
right.
doing your job.
That's what I'm
Having to
hoping
focus
for,
too
man.
much on the
Doing your
weight
job.
cut. Jeez, that's
Yeah,
a
the
lot
weight.
of weight.
Yeah, you want to be yourself on fight day. You won't be yourself losing 30 pounds real quick, but 13, you could do it.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
Danny looked like
I done it.
He
points at me. He's like,
That's
Yeah.
the worst.
skeleton, you know. I've seen you at your worst. That was
Yeah, you have.
CXF.
Yes.
Ooh, man.
You've seen me
dude.
cut to
Or lights out
115.
when it was lights out.
You had to cut to 115. Were you a skeleton?
Insane. Yeah.
Dude, the
She
worst,
had her hood on
the
just
worst,
so nobody was.
The worst I think that I ever looked is when I fought Libar Jocelyn for
Bellator?
no oh my god RFA.
Oh, RFA.
And I like Coach Ian was making fun of me. He's like, so if you ever like some weird eating disorder, I'll know what you look like. Like I'll know you're sick. And I'm like, dude,
It's not
like,
funny.
I can't even laugh. I don't have the strength to laugh. Like I was so like caved in and awful. I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
oh my god, you can see like it was so horrible. I'll never. I
See,
did after those fights. I was like, I'll never cut to 115 again.
See, I watched Naked and Afraid, and like they're ready to tap out off the island. I'm like, you can't be that bad, but you know, now you make me think. You know, after a week of not eating,
Dude,
you know,
I never looked at broccoli the same again. I'm
Yeah.
Like, I don't ever want to
Oh my
ever
God.
like eat broccoli ever again.
It's funny because I'll like broccoli when I weight cut, but as soon as I'm done with that weight
No, you
cut,
don't ever touch it. You're just like,
get that
fuck
broccoli
that.
away from me. I don't.
Unless
I don't
it's
do that.
drenched
I'll eat
in,
a
like,
bag
cheese.
of broccoli like this big, like that.
That's a lot of broccoli.
Before weigh-ins. And I'm
Because
just
it's
chilling there eating, watching TV, And then like the next day I don't have to eat anymore. I'm like, fuck that bag. Get
Yeah.
that shit away from me. Like,
Well, a whole bag is like what, 45 calories?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it has nothing.
But it's
like-
super good. Like
it
broccoli's
just,
a
like, makes you
superfood.
feel
Yeah.
full.
So it does a lot of good things for your
Has
body,
good
for
fiber.
recovery, for fiber. Yeah, you get
Yeah.
rid of everything that's bad,
fiber's
antioxidant.
the fiber's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Fiber, and
Miguel
then
discovered fiber in this last fight. Yeah, see, before that he was never fibrous. Oreos don't have fiber.
That's right.
Or Doritos and bean dip.
Oh my
That's my
god.
pre-workout right here. The
Dude,
Skittles.
he's just trains at Systems, right?
I don't know, to be honest. I haven't seen him in a long time. It's been a little while.
This guy
But
we used to
I heard
train
he quit
with,
fighting now. I heard he's
really?
not fighting anymore. Yeah.
Michael Jackson is his name, his real name.
Yeah.
We call him MJ, but
No, I know him.
he's-
I watched him fight at Celtic Gladiator.
hilarious.
The big, tall, linky guy.
Yeah.
So funny. dude.
He's hilarious.
How could you not know the guy named Michael
Before-
Jackson?
Before
He still
training.
fights. We saw him fight
Yeah.
King of the Cage. not
Yeah,
too
we
long
saw him
ago.
at King of the Cage as well. Yeah.
Fought,
But he
yeah.
stopped. He officially said he's.
Oh, really?
Done fighting. Yeah.
That dude's
We should
pretty
pull
good.
him on and talk about that. He's a cool guy.
Contact
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
But his
Absolutely.
pre-workout or like his pre
It's always
eating
candy.
before like sparring or training, candy, Skittles,
Crazy.
gummy
No,
bears.
Yeah.
Hey, Dondo, Adam
Yeah.
Woods wants to know why you were watching Naked and Afraid.
I watched Naked and Afraid all weekend, and it's not because I'm afraid, and I'm usually naked.
Does your wife know that, man?
I ain't got a wife, so I'm accepting applications as we speak, or internships,
Or for
whatever it takes.
Adam Woods is a giver, too.
He is. Thank you, Adam Woods,
Oh,
and
yeah.
bula bula to you, Adam Woods.
Oh man, he'll get to know
so
what
what's
that later.
next? Are you like anything lined up or any like upcoming things?
I'm trying to. I mean, I wanted to fight, not next month, but the month after. So maybe the June and July. I want to think.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna do Sacramento. So I'm trying to hop on that card. Just keep the ball going, you know.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm gonna stay on fight camp. And I told my manager, I was like, hey, I'm not trying to look for anything the month after, because the last year I fought month to month, but then after that I fight for a year. So I want to make sure I just want to get in at least 5-6 fights this year.
Good.
You know,
Yeah.
and hopefully they give me that title fight. I feel like I've earned it now, but you know, I'm sure they're gonna, because there's not a big lightweight roster from what I'm hearing. They're just picking up some fighters this year, so
Mhm.
they're clearing up stuff with visas and stuff like that. From when I talked to the matchmaker Eduardo, so you know, I really want to get back on at least back in the ring in like in a month and a half, 2 months tops.
That's cool.
So
That's
just
good.
work on technical stuff that I feel like I still need work on, and you know, just grow from there, and hopefully get that title fight. Because this year they're doing another tournament
Oh wow.
for 45s.
Nice.
I don't want to cut the 45s though, so I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, that's
I
a
talked about
tough
it.
one.
I talked
Ew.
about it with Coach, and I was just like, I don't know.
Don't do it.
And then I asked Eduardo, he's like, well, you have to make a debut first. So I was like, you know what, I'll just wait it out. I'd rather just be a solid 55er next year, because they're doing the
Yeah.
lightweight title next year. And if you guys didn't know, these tournaments are all worth 100K, and you fight like 3 nights
Whoa.
in one night.
That's some real money.
So you know, that's some big
Better
money.
Win that shit, yo.
So if I win these next 2 fights in contract, you know, I hear that I will be getting a good phone call, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
which
good.
we all know what that means.
You don't have to chuck water for a while if you make $100,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yep.
but you still got to
That's
keep
right.
working,
Yeah.
because you can blow it all in one day.
Oh, you could.
It's that easy.
Not when your wife takes your
When you make it
checkbook
that
from you.
fast, it's easy to spend. But
Do that.
I mean,
Those are good goals, though, and I like that they attach a monetary goal for that, because people fight because they love to fight. No two ways
Yeah.
about it. Most people that I know and they love it, they do it because they love it. But if you attach $100,000 to it, you're gonna be chucking bricks.
yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
they had one
you're
last
gonna be
year
like,
for 35s, and then I believe Levy and Marquin from Mexico City won that one
Whoa,
against Castaneda.
that's a lot of pesos.
That's,
You know what I mean?
lot of pesos.
You're like a millionaire, right?
That's a lot of zeros.
Yeah, that's a lot of zeros. You don't have to come over the border
You probably didn't even
ever.
get taxed.
Yeah. Oh no, take it and run.
Yeah.
Take it and run. Right? I want the lump sum.
But no, that was a good turnout. They fought 3 nights in one night. I asked them, I was like, is there going to be limited rules? Because obviously there should be. There's
Yeah.
no elbows. They just said it's basically no elbows.
oh, wow.
Everything else was allowed. So
Got it.
basically, you're
Knees
not,
to the face.
you know,
Soccer kicks.
soccer kicks,
Axe
and-
kicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, grind checks.
Dirty stuff.
But
So what's your okay? So you do your weight cut. What's your like go-to after that? I like to know. What
No,
people
I-
love to
This
eat,
is cool.
like-
I hear ice cream and pizza a lot. What's your
Like,
thing?
We talked to Terry on.
His Doritos and pizza.
his Doritos and pizza. So what's your like go-to after? You know, you're good to
actually,
go.
I always switch it up. But this time I actually had a torta right after weigh-ins.
Oh, man.
Man, so carne asada. I went to this tacos and papas
Yeah,
spot.
yeah, yeah.
Went off, like right next to what is it? The hotel we were at, the Mayfair
Yeah.
Hotel in Los Angeles.
Downtown?
Right around the corner. So we went right over there. Right after that, I had a big old torta. I couldn't even eat all of it because my stomach was so small. And I just finished drinking like a half gallon of water.
It's funny how you change, huh?
Coconut water. Like coconut water is also my go-to. That's like my favorite.
It's good for you.
You know,
Electrolytes.
I actually hated it.
Really?
Up until my first pro fight, and then I was just
Sweet
so
nectar of the
thirsty.
gods.
And then Daria, who's in WWE now, she was the one. She's like, "Here, just drink it." And I'm like, "I hate coconut water." She's like, "No, just freaking drink it."
I love it.
All of a sudden, that day is like freaking life
changing.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
Ever since then, I've loved coconut water.
It hydrates. Really
I think because you push yourself, you're a fighter, you also obviously getting very fit in other things that you do, your body craves that stuff. You know what I mean? So water's one thing. Water can cleanse you and replenish you and everything, but that stuff, it puts you right back to where you were, right?
Yeah,
you're drained after a workout.
But I had like freaking 5 meals that day, dude.
Yeah? You're a killer, man. I love it.
I had my torta. I got home, had some steak, and then later on had some like snacks here and there.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fiend for chips, dude. I can't like.
I'm a steak guy. I can
cut
put away a
chips, like, near me,
steak.
'cause I'll eat the whole bag.
Oh yeah. No, I'm an addict. Yeah. That's like crack.
Salt and vinegar.
You know what I mean?
Crack,
Yeah. I'm in trouble. Chicharrones, something like that. You know. Hell yeah.
Like,
It's the salt.
I told my
It's the
manager-
salt and the chips that makes you addicted. You know what I
told my
mean?
manager, so he sent me a bunch of like a box full of like healthy chips.
Yeah.
The shits were gone within like 3 weeks.
Oh, I imagine.
Like little bags like this. I'm like, shit. Like they were so good. They're like vegan and all this stuff. But I was like,
Have you ever had Quest chips?
no, I haven't.
What is it? Quinoa.
I know what Quest is. Yeah, but I never had.
But they sponsored me for one of my fights, and I'm like cutting weight, and I'm like, dude, they're not really that great outside of that.
Yeah.
You know?
They're
And
full of
at
air.
house, I was like, chips, these protein chips. You know, you're fucking desperate.
They got protein ice cream out there now too, man.
This camp
Halo.
actually.
Halo. Hey, yeah.
Good.
I got these ice cream called Enlighten, and there's like 2 servings, and it was only like 80 calories per serving. I had like
What is it? Ice cream?
Enlighten.
Enlightened.
So how do you write
and
that
it's
down?
Problem is, I'll eat 4 gallons of it and be back to what I normally get.
It was like literally like 160 calories. It was like nothing. So I like the first day I got it, I had cookies and cream. I fucking ate the whole pint. I was like,
That's
so it's
how I
not
am
cheating,
with
right?
with
So
the
it's only
Halo
80
ice
calories.
cream. I'm like, it has protein in it. It's like healthy.
Yeah. And then I
Of course
realized
I'll eat
that
the whole thing.
even if I eat all that, it's just still not gonna be good. So
No.
Well,
it's
that-
all
I ate
bad.
that pint, and then after that, I was like, I'll save the rest till after my weight cuts.
Well, that's like our personal chef here, Byron. He says, I'll make you something healthy. And he puts together masa, 4 different kinds of
What about his
fruits.
cheese dip?
Yeah, he's incredible.
What?
Trying to give me a heart attack on the spot, but it was bomb. Thank you very much, Chef
Constipated for
Byron.
like a week.
That's our in-house chef.
You can't be greasy food, man.
No, not at all. No, that's bad for you, man. But I love it, but it's bad for you.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? There's a reason they put manteca in beans, because it tastes damn good. Right? You even eat that, don't you vegan little fella over there?
No, I don't eat lard.
Really?
No, I don't fuck with that.
I bet you have.
No.
I bet you have, and you've loved it, and you just didn't know.
What do you-
Maybe.
What's the meat? The fake meat product you use? What's the name of it?
My wife gets this thing called corn.
Corn.
How's it spelled? Q-U-O-R-N. Yeah.
Q-U-R-N?
Yeah.
Corn?
That's really good. Corn. Yeah.
Corn?
Corn.
It's
Yeah.
fake meat.
Yeah.
It's fake meat.
Yeah.
Soy
Some
riso?
restaurant,
That's
if
the
you-
shit.
I was gonna say something really.
My soy riso? Whoa.
Woo! I think
Hey.
it's time for the technique.
I believe that's a Thursday night show, Tales of the Pole.
Oh,
Tales of the meat
We'll
pole.
be talking about fake meat then too.
So, because we have Erick Ghost Pepper Gonzales here, he's going to go over a little technique of the week. We do want to see his hands in action. So we are going to cut to the Russ Mura Gym Crashers Live that we filmed about a month or 2 ago. Maybe 6
Maybe
months
longer.
ago. Even longer. It's
Maybe
been this year's gone by kind of quick. It's already April, almost May. But we'll play that while the guys get ready because they do want to prep. Maybe throw the combo a couple times, and we switch over to the camera that's in our mini dojo where I train my guys, and Erick will be over there with Maria since they're already comfortable with each other, throwing that combo, and maybe do it a couple times so we can get a couple different views.
Sure.
Cameraman will be over there. We'll set it up, make you guys look good. But
I think we actually have a small clip of his
Oh, we do have a clip?
Last
Oh, let's do it.
The last minute and a half of the fight.
Yeah. So.
Okay, let's look at that. We're going to look at his fight before we shift over to the mini dojo.
So actually, I think the move is in there too.
I love it. Like us. Subscribe to us. Gym Crashers Live on Free Admission Media.
Yes,
Gym.crashers on
They actually
Instagram.
provided uniforms, so those shorts they got were all provided for us.
Oh wow.
Looking good, dude.
Banners as well. We had a uniform. They gave us a full tracksuit. It was dope. Super, super, super cool. Made it seem it was like pretty much like you see in UFC where they come up with their uniforms, stuff like that.
Is this where you almost choked him out?
Yeah, this is where I almost choked him. I actually had it under the chin, and he pulled out and got out. And then I just let go of it because I don't want to wear my arms out. And then,
Nice.
yeah.
There it is. Boom! You sat him right on his ass. That was nice.
And then the position, full mount, chop the arm.
Oh wow, that was good. And you know he is a solid referee.
Yeah,
he is.
Deltron, come on.
He's awesome.
He's another LA boy.
Yeah, by the way, for those that didn't know, the dance I did afterwards from Fortnite. So
Woo!
I'm a big gamer, guys. Big gamer.
I love it.
There's some bad
Didn't
blood
you
there.
jump up
so,
on the cage? I thought I saw a picture of you.
I
on
do
the
actually.
cage.
It was a little bit after that. But
Right on.
yeah, my buddy was actually he came with us, the weigh-ins and everything, and videotaped every single part of the fight. So he made a really dope video. It's super dope. I'm really excited about it.
That's cool.
It was a good turnout. I thought it was. It almost feels like when it ends that fast, you're just like, damn, what the fuck did I train so much for? Like.
Yeah,
you know?
but you
But it's
never
like the
know.
best feeling in the world, you know.
Absolutely. Then you get to go like do whatever like untouched. You know, you're
Yeah.
not like super sore. You're not all fucked up.
Yeah.
No black eyes.
I think I was
You're
like.
sitting in the crowd like saying what's up to everybody.
Yeah.
Sure, buy me drinks. What's
Yeah,
up?
we went with Marcos and Chase because Heinrich, Wasme, and Chase Gibson also fought that
Yeah,
night.
I saw that.
Unfortunately, they didn't take the W home, but it's a good fight. It's really, really good fights. They both won the
Yeah,
distance.
Chase is tough as hell, man.
I
Yeah.
was surprised that Chase
Savage, yeah.
I was surprised Chase lost.
We gotta
that.
get Chase
It
on
was
here.
Like the guy won the first and the third round with just pure wrestling. It was guy's fucking strong.
Yeah.
He was strong. You can tell. And Chase is a strong dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's very good at grappling. So I was very surprised that ended up being like that. But he told me, I guess he had the body triangle for so long.
Yeah.
That he just blew
His legs
out.
were like
Sure.
toast. Totally.
He said he couldn't like balance or put effort on his legs.
I'm
afterwards.
sure.
I was like,
Shit.
damn, you should have let go of it.
Yeah. Yeah, don't overexert yourself on one thing, right?
No, absolutely not. Just gotta learn when to let go and just move on to the next move.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. Keep it moving. How are we looking for a little transfer over under that commercial? All right, we're going to check out Russ Mura, Jiu-Jitsu down in Laguna Hills, Subfighter MMA, Subfighter Jiu-Jitsu. Miguel, my partner here, and I went down there and trained with those guys, and check it out while we switch over to the mini dojo. All right, we're here in Laguna Hills, California at Subfighter BJJ with head instructor Russ Mura. Come on in.
Your whole life you're like, oh, I'm a wrestler, and now all of a sudden you're like, I'm not a fucking wrestler. What the fuck am I? You know, just like didn't just graduate high school. But that's kind of the things that I was going through. I was going through a whole identity crisis type situation, and that was back when they had Blockbuster. And Blockbuster, my mom would bring home I think the first one that I saw. And remember, like, I'm not into UFC at this time in my life. Like, I'm not like into it. Like, I know about it, but it doesn't like really interest me or whatever. But I'm in bed for like 2 weeks in a cast on my knee, or actually I was in a knee brace, a leg brace that went from my butt to my ankle. And the first one I think I saw was Dan Severn and Mark Coleman. So knowing me being a wrestler, I'm like, oh, I can understand how like a big wrestler would get on top of people, pound them out, and headbutt them. And so he won, but they kept mentioning a guy named Gracie. So I had my mom get the earlier UFCs at Blockbuster. I'm like, I expected, like, what I was expecting was not him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking like a guy like super jacked, like super fast or something like that. And I'm surprised that this is the guy. What?
Yeah, I think the whole country felt the same way.
And he's running through his guys, and I'm just like, damn, dude, this guy. I'm like, I want to learn this like so bad. And then UFC 4 was when he fought Dan Severn, right? So that was when things really changed. Like you think of like how things change your life. That was one of the most pivotal times in my life because I'm like, okay, like he's a wrestler, I'm a wrestler. Dan Severn weighs 260, Hoist Gracie weighs like 160. Yeah.
100 pound difference.
There's like 100 pound difference. So I'm like, all right. And as the fight was going on, the one thing that I took immediate notice of is like, yeah, he's on his back, but he's not taking damage.
Yeah.
Like he's like trying to headbutt him and like smash him and stuff. And I'm like, he's actually like not. The defensive portion of what he's doing is good. Like it's good. It's working.
Sure.
It's working, right? And then he taps out, and I was like, dude, like what the heck? So I kept rewinding it like over and over and over and over and over. Like I rewinded it like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And I'm just like looking at it, and I call my brother downstairs. And I put my brother in a triangle, and I can barely like bend my knee. So I put him in the triangle on this side, and he tapped me, and I go, what happened? He goes, dude, it was choking me. And I'm like, my whole life changed right there, because I was like, dude, he just choked him with his legs off his back. He's been on his back for 17 minutes. He's outweighed about 100 pounds. And I was like, dude. So I just locked my brace, and I hopped over to the phone book. And I called my first instructor, and we talked for like at least like a good 3 hours. But that was like how I found jiu-jitsu. Had like a very traumatic knee injury from wrestling. I kind of turned my energy into jiu-jitsu, and I was like, dude, this is like my first day of jiu-jitsu. I know I've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing it for a long time. Yeah. I think most jiu-jitsu practitioners would relate their earliest things to Hoist Gracie.
Sure.
I know definitely for me. And I think that having the UFC platform for him was, you couldn't have asked for a better platform, because he was the smallest guy in every UFC. He was the smallest guy. And, you know, like he's not an athlete. It seemed like he didn't have much fear in the back of his head, because he knows how to close his distance, establish a takedown, and gain positional control and finish, which is really what jiu-jitsu is about. There's a lot of claims that are made in martial arts, not just in jiu-jitsu, but in other martial arts. But one of the claims that should be true, no matter what martial arts that you're training, is that if you better your technique, you should be able to overcome a stronger opponent.
Introducing him, or are you?
Second grandkid any day now.
Damn.
That's nice, people.
That is, yeah.
Especially when you look like me. Hey,
I'm on
so
shit.
Gym Crashers Live. We're here for Technique of the Week. I've got Erick Ghost Pepper Gonzales and Maria Rios. They're going to go over some striking. So make sure you like us, subscribe to us, hit us up on YouTube, hit us up on Facebook Live. But I'm going to turn it over to the pros, and they're going to throw.
Yeah, so we're going to go over some solid stuff that Erick did in his fight that kind of stole the show, won the fight.
Yep. So basically we're going to be going over a basic slip to a level drop, and actually connecting with the body shot, a body hook, and hook to a bear hug from a side control, and doing the knee tap. I said that correctly. Very bad wording. Very bad wording. So during my fight, we were actually here. I was southpaw position, by the way, guys. So this was I'm not orthodox. She's orthodox. I'm doing southpaw. So he came in with a hook. I literally slipped, body, then you hug, and you do a knee tap. So from here, you're already on side control, established position. You can go from, wherever you want, wherever jits or wrestling position you want to go to. But that was one of my takedowns of the fight. Practiced that a lot, drilled that a lot. So this isn't a one-time use thing, guys. This is drill. Go a different angle. And we're here. Also, guys, keep in mind, you're using the head as you're also knee tapping. So when you're here, you're going to be knee tapping and pushing your head at the same time. It'll minimize power, and it'll do more. You'll have more actual angle and more control of the thing. I don't know how you guys say jits. I'm not big with words, so I'm just describing it to my best knowledge, even though I'm a professional. So,
let's go a couple more times, yeah.
Go from this angle. Boom, boom. And we're here. Guys, I'm not letting go either. I'm keeping control here. What's this called again?
Side clinch or cable grip?
Cable grip, guys. You could do, whatever you're comfortable with. I usually do cable grip because you're able to squeeze the hips in and have way more control like that. And it's hard to break. Way, way harder to break. And we'll go here. Boom, boom, boom. Here. Knee tap. Normally I go to the mount from there. So my fight actually I go to the mount and get the rear naked. And you do that fast. Is there anything else we can go over? Anything you want to...
Where can we follow you on social media?
As far as social media, guys, ghostpepper_MMA. That's for my Twitter. That's for my Instagram and my Snapchat. Facebook, just Erick, the Ghost Pepper Gonzales.
Nice.
Go ahead and give me a message, guys. I will respond. I love talking to everybody, and you know, without the fans and everybody watching every time on TV and you know on the live broadcast, we would not be here. I would not be here. So. Yeah, follow me on that, guys. And I'm also a big gamer, so follow me on Twitch. Same thing. ghostpepper_MMA.
So we have Erick. Thank you for the technique of the week. That's it.
Right on, guys.
That was it. Technique of the week. We're going to bring him back in here, but that was pretty cool. Saw him duck that punch. Was that a hook to the body? Got that clinch. Took her down like clockwork. He did use that during his fight. We saw it just moments ago. And just a pretty cool technique. Go back over it. You guys can hit rewind on YouTube and check that stuff out. I like it because it brings you back to basics, you know. You can duck that punch. You get a hold of someone, then you can go to town. You can go to work. Very cool, Erick. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, right.
I like it.
Yeah, it's dude, we went over that drill so many times, man. I can't even tell you how many times we went over that. And it was actually, when I got it, it was meant to be from the back before the fight, and it ended up being from the front. So, you know.
It works.
Wrestling, man.
Yeah.
It's such a, like, smooth transition, and it is, like, the knee tap is, it doesn't take a whole lot of, like, strength or effort
like
to do it.
Just like
yeah,
2 inches of your
it's
knee going.
like, once you understand how to do it, it's super effortless. Yeah. And you can take down people that are a lot bigger than you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like when you get, especially stuff like that, a lot of people tend to overdo the power in those types of moves, and you know, with the proper technique, it requires like no force ever.
Yeah, from that like side clinch position, there's so many takedowns, but that is like one of.
You can go
one
anywhere.
of the simplest ones.
It has to be,
especially if they look like they overcommitted to that hook and they're already like you know,
off balance.
Yeah. So.
And that's what it was too. You know, it was just it was mostly working like the head movement, man, because the footwork is the biggest key to that whole position as well. Because you can slip, but if you're like overcompensating with reach or you know, or too far back, your hips aren't close enough. You know, it ruins the whole thing. So the footwork is a big thing. And
your head up in the shoulder too for that turn.
Yeah.
Right.
Your head position is solid. Like
that's solid wrestling, right?
Yeah.
But
if it's too low, you're in a guillotine.
Yeah, you're in a guillotine.
You got to be up high, right? Yeah.
Pushing the head, or you can even get punched in the face, you know. But the higher it is, harder to punch, and it's done quick, guys. It's nothing. This is not something you just sit in there with, because you start sitting in a position too long, you get screwed over.
Yeah. You got to keep moving.
With anything.
Yeah.
You know,
it's like the second you're there.
Yeah. So it was a good move. I liked it a lot, and it was super basic. So I know I'm not too big on crazy advanced techniques, because most of the time in MMA, you don't really get to do that much technical stuff.
You don't see it that often.
The basic stuff that wins the fight.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just
double leg takedown.
Yeah, like
single legs,
just maybe performed a little bit differently by each person, because we all do it differently. But it's the basic shit.
I think the difference between belts or even levels of fighting, if it's not the belt that you're looking after, but it's the way that you go after those basic things, right? Everybody knows an armbar, but there's about 150 different ways to do it, right? And you learn how to cinch it up, what works for you, what works for different body types, and you're able to nail it, right?
Yeah, I think with my style of fighting, because I'm so long, I have 75 inches as a reach. So I
know somebody just like that. I got 45 inches. Call me T-Rex. Ghost Pepper and T-Rex in the house.
There you go.
That could be your fight name, though.
Yeah. Why? Because I'm old and you've seen my bones laying on the ground. They dug me up somewhere in Mexico. Brought me back to life on Jurassic Park.
Whatever works.
Whatever works, yeah. It's all good. So tell me, what do you do outside of the MMA world? What keeps you busy?
You know what? Besides gaming, I actually have a real job as well. It's not like a job. It's like, it's a restaurant job.
No, a job's important. You got to eat.
But I bartend there, actually. I became a bartender like a year
Oh,
and
nice.
2 years ago now.
That sounds like a fun job.
So it's cool because like actually a lot of people that come to my to I have my designated days and I get my regulars there now, and a lot I think like about 30 people showed up just for my job.
Oh,
alone.
nice.
Pretty cool.
So it's
That's
pretty
dope.
Cool, you know,
Yeah.
and everybody's always asked. So I came in for work like yesterday was my first day back, and I was only gone for like a week and a half, and people like my regulars got to see me and they were all stoked. They were like, yeah, you know, so
Buying
it's
drinks.
cool,
That's cool.
you know, buying drinks and stuff like that. Exactly, you know, and then I served there as well. But you know, I actually like bartending. It's pretty cool, and even if I had just one day a week, I wouldn't even care just because it kind of keeps you my mind away from, you know, the MMA
Yeah,
stuff.
totally.
Yeah.
switch it
So-
to that.
Step out of the game.
Kinda
Yeah,
like
for
Come
sure.
back into the gym, I'm nice and like ready to go.
Yeah.
Because like I have people from the bar and that I talk to about.
I feel like
different
people
stuff.
kind of need that sometimes. That
Yeah.
little separation where it's kind of like you're in a different world. You get to like, not that it's bad to be completely consumed with it, but it's good to like have that little bit of a outside.
Yeah,
you
because
know?
if you don't, I mean, I have like I'm pretty like separated with when it comes to my MMA life to my personal life. Like I'm close with my teammates and stuff, but we don't, other than that, I don't really hang out as much with my teammates.
Sure.
Outside of that, unless we go to the fights or something like that. It's usually like my set of friends are all guys that are like either going to school, working towards something else.
Regular dudes.
You know, just regular dudes, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and there's nothing, and
That's
it's
cool.
nice to come back to MMA and so when I'm back to the gym, I'm talking about like people that know what they're doing. It's
Yeah.
nice, you know.
It's a different bond, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Very,
Right?
Very different bond, you know. But as I'm getting like deeper into this whole stuff, now I'm starting to get closer relationships with the fighters, as opposed to, you know, my personal life friends. But my personal life friends will always be there because, you know, they're my best friends. But, you know, it is nice to have a outside job and then going back into that.
Yeah, it's a cool thing, too. Bartenders have a tendency to be psychologists because they talk to a lot of people,
Yeah.
right?
And
People
we
bring their
interact with
problems.
people every day, you
That's
know.
what I mean, yeah.
Absolutely.
So you learn a lot from that kind of job, and you're a pretty well-spoken guy, so I could see that you talk to a lot of people a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
So you're comfortable on camera. You're comfortable articulating technique. You know, that's not always the thing. You know, some people are really great fighters, but they cannot tell you for the life of them what they're doing. You know what I mean? Or teach it to someone. You got to watch them and break it down.
Yeah, see, I'm a visual learner, so you know,
Yeah.
MMA is kind of it's all visual. So.
It can be, yeah. It's do it. You have to
Yeah,
do
you
it
have
to
to
learn
do
it,
it.
right?
Yeah.
You can,
Like that.
Hands-on.
yeah.
Hands-on
I'm
and
hands-on
have
with
to
everything.
do it like several times.
Oh yeah, drill.
Yeah. It's
Or
like-
there's always that one thing that you do that you're like, why haven't I been doing this the whole time? And it just clicks. And
Yeah.
You just
yeah.
like it's there. And then there's other things you have to drill like 1,000 times before you even perform it once in sparring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So-
the first time I walked into an actual jiu-jitsu gym, because I was a full wrestler beforehand.
Yeah. That's
I
a tough world to
I got
transition.
submitted like freaking 200 times that day.
Yeah.
I walked.
That's
away
the
from
first
that
2
gym.
years, right?
Yeah, right.
It's like I walked away from the
You're
gym
surviving.
and then I said, you know, thanks to everybody, and then I came back the next day and the coach was like, "You're back," and I'm like, "Yeah, you know, one day at a time."
Yeah.
And now I'm like wrestling, going jits and no-gi at a high competitive level. So
It's awesome.
Cool.
It's cool, you know. And then it took me like about 1,000 times to not get submitted over and over and over again. You know?
Sure, just to stay in the game, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
Much less
it's all
compete.
worth it,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, it's important not to be the best guy in your first week because if you are, you're in the wrong school.
Oh,
You're
absolutely.
never going to grow, right?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, that's why I'm with my gym, because there's literally a lot of gyms. You know, Ian has had fighters leave all the time. Not all the time, but like
There's always a revolving door, but the core people,
I feel like with fighters,
it's finding your home base.
yeah,
It
find
took
where
me-
you belong.
It took me a while before I found my gym.
Yeah.
And then I found the right coach, and now my coach is, literally is like his little pupil, you know. And
Yeah.
I was telling him like, dude, I'm not fighting until you okay it, or you know, if someone runs a fight by me, I'm like, oh, I got to run it by my coach.
It's a lot of
Not even
trust.
My manager, not just my coach, because like
Yeah.
one fight I took that he told me not to take when I was an amateur, and I lost it.
You learn the hard way.
I learned the hard way.
The supervisor, like at least that's like we talked about this one
Yeah.
time, like what is their responsibilities to kind of prep you and know what you're like.
You're capable
is this
of.
person be good for you,
Yeah.
or would it be bad, or is it going to be challenging, or is it going to be a lemon, or like what is going to help the fighter shine the most?
Exactly. Yeah, like right
good
now,
coaches will
learn
know,
that.
and
Yeah.
they'll know like okay.
and sometimes it's not even like a good coach. It's more like the person that they are.
Yeah.
Mostly than anything else, you know. But because I'm looking for a new boxing coach, but I don't want to just go to any gym, you know.
Right, absolutely.
I literally am going to like gyms to talk to people, see how they sound, and how they are and portray themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's going to be selfish coaches, there's going to be coaches that give, and there's going to be coaches that are there just to make you grow. They don't even care about anything else. You know, they're just coaches there every single day, and they're probably not even getting, half of them aren't even getting paid, but they're still there every day to help the kids, you know. But like, I don't know, I'm pretty picky, so there's a couple gyms I've been looking at.
Rightfully so. I mean, you should be. It's your career. It's like, this is what you're putting all of yourself into.
So smart.
You should be picky. It's
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
Your approach is unique, but it's very smart. So I commend you for that.
I had a boxing coach, but there's some stuff that, you know, didn't work out as far as who wanted to be head coach wise, and, you know, but I just kind of like, I actually just separated myself from the coach, and I was like, because he kind of said it to the whole class, like, you know, you're going to have to decide. And I'm like, dude, I shouldn't have to decide. I've been with the same coach for 4 years for a reason.
That's the thing, like, I don't get it. It's
I will
like,
never understand
how
that.
why would you make me choose as a fighter, like, one over the other? You know, it's like, that's such a selfish thing to, like, put on someone else. Like, you have to decide who you're going with. Like, that's not fair.
I think it seems odd now, but there was a time when there were only so many schools.
Right.
Okay, there was a time when it wasn't everywhere, and some of those guys still come from that era. You know what I mean? Yeah, their thought process still comes from that. In that you want your guys, you want to see them get to that level. You don't want them going elsewhere. You know, and there's an honor in being a part of, you know, the same school, if it is what you want to do. But you can also do a discredit to yourself by not being able to expand upon. Right? So it goes both ways. It really is a tough argument.
I think like the only gyms I actually go to are Fight Science and Systems now.
Yeah.
I was Systems full time for a long time.
Yeah.
And, I love that gym too. You know, it's like my second home as well.
I love that.
I love all the trainers come out of there, you know, and the people that work there and come out of there, and people that even just go there to work out. It's always really good vibes there.
Love that.
That's what I loved about the spot, you know, on top of the crazy competitive fighters that are in there.
Yeah, that pushes you too. But Maria's story is a unique one. She has lived and traveled, you know, across the country and back. So it's a byproduct that she actually trained at some very unique places and put together a very unique set of skills. So that's a cool thing too, you know.
I take a little bit of everything from everywhere.
Absolutely, and everybody, like.
Is there any place you miss besides?
Absolutely, I miss training in under Jay Jack and Amanda Buckner in Maine. Like,
Yeah.
You wouldn't think like that would be, because you think Portland, Maine, it's like the tip of the United States, way the F over here next to Canada.
Almost to Nova
What
Scotia.
the hell is there?
The Titanic
But
sank just
that
offshore.
academy was, like, it was like
They're closer
the
almost.
family,
Yeah.
like everybody's down for everybody, and the people that aren't got weeded out quickly.
Yeah.
And, you know, like the coaching and just everything there was just, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like that pushed me to be what I was. So it was like I never thought I could ever be anything but like this like jiu-jitsu guard player, because that's what I was, you know what I mean? And that's what I did throughout like my first years of ever competing, you know what I mean? And like people that believed in your potential and that kind of guided you to get out of the comfort zone, and they were willing to like put them, like you said, like those coaches that stay after hours for nothing,
Just
that
'cause they
help
want to,
you
Because they love it.
because they love it and they love you
Yeah.
as a person and as
Yeah.
an individual.
Yeah, you gotta
And they
care
just
about
wanna
people.
See, people grow. So I missed that academy. I missed the gym and everything about that place.
The first gym I walked into was to sign myself up for my, because I was like 21, 20, didn't know what the hell I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was just basically just going out and drinking every night, partying and smoking and all this stuff, you know, up to no good. But the first gym I walked into was the Loisio gym right off of Manhattan and in Hawthorne.
Yeah.
I met Pedro Munoz, who's my first jiu-jitsu and MMA coach.
Yeah.
And actually, he ended up going to Systems too. And then I ended up running to him there as a coach. And I was like, what the hell? Like,
It's meant to be.
yeah, you know, so I ended up making a home base there too. But I remember I walked in there. I forgot, the gym owner of Aloisio, though, was just like, what do you want to do here? Like, what's your goal?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I want to be a fighter, man. I'm like, I want to be an MMA fighter, but I didn't have the confidence. And like, I knew I was a fighter. You know, I'm naturally good. Like, I used to get in a lot of street fights and whoop ass, but like,
You're comfortable with it.
yeah.
Totally.
You got to be,
You know,
right?
So I had that side of me already.
Yeah.
And like, I just but I didn't like school. I went to college for like, I went to like an
For a minute?
automotive school.
Yeah.
For a year. Completed that. Fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Stole money on it.
Yeah.
You know, so.
It is some money.
But.
You need that $100,000 fight to get that back.
Yeah. But, you know, and then he was just like, so you want to be a fighter, huh? So he's just like, you're willing to get your ass kicked every single day. Come in here, probably
Gotta
get your
love
ass
it.
kicked, lose some money, probably win some money, not probably what you want to make. And we had this long conversation, this older guy, and I was like, yeah, dude, that's what I want. I want to beat people up for a living.
He kept it real for you.
And so I went there, and I liked the gym. I loved the gym, but then Pedro left. They got rid of some program.
Yeah.
So I ended up moving gyms, and that's when I went to systems. But, you
Pedro's
know,
a good coach.
You stuck with Pedro.
It was a good way to put it when I look back at it. You know,
Yeah.
Someone is like, so what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to learn here? What do you
Yeah.
want to get out of this? Like,
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah, be weary of the
never
guy.
noticed that.
Be weary of the guy that takes you under his arm and says, "Yeah, you're going to be a fighter," before you've even committed to anything, right? Be weary of that dude.
I had a trainer
Yep.
that was he was a Navy guy or a military guy, and his job was to break down like Navy SEALs, Air Force recon,
Yeah.
airborne guys, you know, you name it, top guys. His job was to mentally
The elite soldiers and
Exactly.
okay.
And I got to train with him for about 6 months, and he was actually the first guy that made me throw up within 10 minutes of my workout.
Yeah.
With just using ice cold buckets of water and me working out. You know, so this is like his technique was just like create a stress level that where you're frozen up, and it makes you think. So then you keep moving forward while you're thinking, so you don't just freeze up. You're gonna act supposed to.
That's
You know,
pretty
it was a weird thing. I still used it till today.
So how did he use the cold water? Was he
So-
pouring it on you?
You know, we did some warming up, and I would be doing a workout. So when I was doing push-ups, one of the first times, I still remember like yesterday, I was doing a push-up. We had like 20. He's like, all right, just give me 20. And as I'm like really hot after I warmed up, and
Yeah.
I was really warm, sweating, throws an ice cold bucket of water on me. He had like 10 of them. Like 10 of them, really big ones, throwing it little by little.
Yeah.
And would ask him basic math questions, basic history questions. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know that
and
regularly.
I'd be
I'm
like
sorry.
going down, and he'd throw the ice bucket and be like 2 times 2, and I'm like, what? And I like freeze. I'd answer his question and then keep going with the push-up.
Yeah. It's shock to the body.
Yeah, you know, so it was like it created a weird level of stress, and then like 10 minutes later, dude, I just threw up like 3 times, and then he's like, "You done?" And I just kept going, and then after that day, he trained me for free, and he said, he's like, "You're gonna make it in fighting." He's like, "I know you are." He's like, "You got that guy," because I actually wanted to go military before anything else.
So the commitment's already there.
So I was like, but I was a troublemaker too, so like I got in trouble, couldn't go because of that.
You don't take orders well.
And
You'd have been in trouble. Yeah.
But
Might have booted you.
Yeah, that's how I ended up. From him was the first reason I got to be able to comfortable in levels of stress, and especially in jits, because you get into these little like weird
Suffocating
positions.
feelings,
Yeah, you know,
You're all claustrophobic.
I've gone claustrophobic.
People feel like they're drowning.
Out, you know,
Yeah.
squirm like a fish.
Yeah.
Out of water.
You can't breathe.
And but that was for sure like the best trainer I've ever had, and I was super bummed out because he had to move back to Michigan to go do some training. And the guy had cancer,
Oh.
so he was still in the military
It's
training
rough.
guys while he had cancer, and he was like super skinny, going through chemotherapy, and like it was like probably
Still
one of the.
whooping people's asses.
But
This guy was.
He beat cancer, didn't he?
I've no, dude. I
I
never heard
wonder.
from him after that.
I wonder, man.
He like went back and he's like, hey, dude, like I almost I'm selling my house. I actually got to move back, going back to the military and do some stuff. He's like, you probably won't hear from me again.
Yeah.
Never know what happened to him.
That's crazy.
So, you know, I hope that he's all right and he's doing good. Wish nothing but the best, and hopefully if he is, sees me one day, sees me on TV and says, hoping gives me a call or something.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Well-
he wasn't that much trouble with me. He was only like his mid-30s.
Wow.
Mid-30s.
If you have something to give, because you shared that piece of who you are, and you don't know. You don't know what tomorrow brings, but yet you're going to remember that guy the rest of your life because he pushed you to a level that no one really has, you know?
Yeah, we used to go to the beach and make me do all this crazy stuff in the water.
I was going to say, yeah, because when
Full military.
when you train in the ocean, because we're looking at, what, 55 degree right now, 58 degree water,
Mhm.
you know, you get used to reacting quickly in cold water.
Yeah.
Your body adjusts a lot quicker. But if you don't do that, then your cognitive skills are messed up. Some people jump in the ocean like, oh my God, they can't even think. They go hypothermic. You know what I mean? So
Instantly freeze.
it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it was a weird style, and we used a lot of bricks, lifting.
Yeah.
The entire time working out, I had his military vest. He told me some crazy stories, dude. I don't even. They're crazy, man.
Yeah.
The guy was nuts. You know?
I think there's something
Much
to
longer
that.
than
Yeah.
nuts, you know?
Just to stay in a thinking mind and under some heavy stress. But then there's the other part of it in that you train so much, that fast twitch, that your body takes over. You're no longer thinking, right? That also
Yeah,
takes
it's
place.
like muscle
So it's important to think, but sometimes you can overthink, and then you're in trouble. So
So I've had that trainer. That was my first trainer ever. That was my brother's friend. I met him through my brother. But yeah, and then I also had a different military guy as well. So when I worked at Equinox,
Yeah.
he was like a maintenance guy there, and I would just go in there. But I would always work out. I knew it was cool, all the instructors, and there was one military guy before he became an actual regional manager for the Equinox. He used to train, but his was just all strength stuff. It wasn't anything like that, you know. It
Yeah.
was totally different.
Some people are one-sided like that.
You know. But it made sense because he was because he didn't do that type of training that the guy that I did. He's more of like a mental guy, you know. Like
Yeah.
He's
That's a much bigger part.
Break you know?
That's a much bigger component.
So
Absolutely.
You know,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the game.
you know, but it was cool. Like you get so many different trainers. Just pick. I think that's why I'm so picky.
Mm-hmm.
Because I gotten trainers that were freaking phenomenal, and unfortunately they couldn't stay. But then I've had trainers that were like okay, but then I felt like there's like I look at fighters around them and I just feel like they're at a plateau with their striking, and they're not going higher and higher. And I see the trainers that they're with, and it's a lot of group of the same fighters, you know, that I see that are probably within the same instructor, but like I see them the way they hit pads and everything, and I look at all that stuff, and it really helps me determine what do I want to go with him.
Yeah.
And learn that same type of style, or do I want to go with something completely different that nobody knows, or not even that nobody knows, but doesn't really mess with, but knows his shit at a different type of style that'll work with mine.
Sure.
You know, and
That's heavy.
As a fighter, you gotta know how to pick your trainers and the way you want to
It
train.
has to click. It has to
So-
feel comfortable.
And I'm slowly starting to get to I think I finally found like my fight mentality, fighter that I have inside of me when I step in the ring. I think this last fight was I was a different person that night. I wasn't all there. I don't remember the fight at all. It just kind of went in and out. But like I see the look on my face and the feeling that I had. I was completely relaxed. There was no bad juju. There was nothing. I was just there, and I just felt prepped and ready. And
We went to work.
and you know, and I felt it right when I stepped in.
That's good, man.
Normally I get like anxiety or something from like wanting to get in there.
Sure, that's a normal thing.
I was ready to wait fucking another 3 hours to get in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's a different feeling, and you know I always tell fighters, you know, the people that are my team, you know, I was like, you know, just make sure you're training, man. Don't bullshit yourself. You know.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
thing to do.
'Cause
That's right. Make sure your
I'm-
team's not
I'm
bullshitting you
guilty of
too.
Myself, you know, last year after that fight, I barely trained. I was just kind of like, I just kind of lost that focus and motivation to get back in the ring, and
Mhm.
not in the ring, but to get back to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I fucking fought my ass off. And
You're at a certain level, right?
Yeah.
You start to question where you're going to go from there. So it does take some thinking.
And I think after getting another fight lined up, it really brought back that motivation to keep going back to the gym. And that's why after this fight, I mean, even if I did take a damage, I probably still wouldn't have been in the gym on Monday.
Yeah.
So
Motivation isn't always there. It's something that you have to dig for. So discipline is the key, right?
absolutely, you know,
You've got to
it's
be
easy-
disciped.
It's easy to
And
get
your
carried.
commitment to,
Yeah.
you know.
It's easy
what
to get
you're
carried
gonna
away
do.
different stuff outside
Absolutely.
of MMA, you know.
That's for sure. You can lose
We
sight.
call it real life.
Yeah.
In reality, if you're a fighter, MMA is your real life.
That's right.
So
Well,
that's
it's
something that
it prepares you for real life in a way that most people don't understand. You know,
absolutely.
you're able to approach things from a better perspective, in my opinion. The
Yeah.
warrior mind is a different kind of mind, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's but you know, it's good, man. I love it. I think I'm falling more in love with it every year. As much as last year was a little bit of a head mix-up.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people were like, "Oh, how come you haven't fought so long? Did you get injured?" It's like, nah, I just was in a weird place last year, and I think this year is going to be better, and it's going to be a whole different turnout, and
Mm-hmm.
I just feel myself. It's going to be a growing year for me as a person, as a fighter, and I think as the gym as well. Because my coach just opened up this gym this last year, so
Yep.
you know, as the gym, I think it's going to be a good year.
Absolutely. We hear it from the man himself, Erick Ghost Pepper Gonzales. He's got big things lined up for the year. He's got this win that he's coming off of just a week ago. And much like he does, he goes and he checks things out before he actually commits to it. Gym Crashers, that's what we're all about. We don't just do the in-house show where we bring fighters to you. We actually come out to your dojo, your training center, your academy. We train with you, so hit us up because we'd like to come out and do some live footage out there in the world. But hit us up at Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. on YouTube, on Facebook Live. So again, Maria Rios, Erick Ghost Pepper Gonzales, the guys from Fight Science, thank you so much. Tony Padilla at Spar Stars. Albert Jarzi back with Celtic Gladiator coming up next month. CXF coming up this weekend with George. Catch us out there at the MMA promotions that are here in LA because we'll be out there doing interviews talking to the people that are at the fights, keeping busy. So hit us up.
And we also have another announcement. So we're going to be doing a self-defense seminar for murderinos. So if anybody knows what my favorite murder is, there's a following that they call themselves murderinos. And so we're going to be doing that next month, May 12th, from 1 to 3 at Fight Science. Maria's going to be teaching. So if you know anybody, the Eventbrite link is going to be up soon. So follow us.
So you guys show up.
Women's self-defense with Maria Rios. She clearly knows what she's teaching.
You never know when you're going to find yourself alone and some guy attacking you. So, you know, it's just good to know it and not
That's
know
right.
it. So just keep that in mind, ladies.
Or some girl. You never know.
Yeah.
We'll put it out on Insta. That's true, actually, yeah.
So
It could be
you
both.
gotta be prepared, man, woman, child.
Be
everybody
prepared.
needs to be prepared.
It might just be your first day figuring out that you even want to train. It may lead to other bigger, better things, right?
Absolutely.
You just never know.
We'll learn some ish.
But producer JP will put it out on Instagram and Facebook, so look for that women's self-defense class coming up at Fight Science May 12th with Maria Rios. All right, guys, we'll see you. Thank you so much, Eric. It was awesome. Thank you, Maria. It was an
Absolutely.
awesome show today.
Thanks for having me, man.
See y'all next week,
It's an honor.
and we're coming out to you soon with Gym Crashes. Peace.